Right now, the final part of our special investigation, a matter of consent. This story is about more than a Phoenix officer accusing a fellow cop of sexual assault. It's about shining a light on the way Phoenix treats survivors.
We pick the story back up with Abby Dennison telling ABC 15 investigator Dave Biskobing what it was like sitting in that hospital 1 decade ago.
As Abby Dennison sat in the hospital where she went to get a tampon pulled out of her. She says a Phoenix detective gave her just 5 minutes to decide whether to press charges against fellow officer Anthony Armour.
I think it was coming more from a place of, I don't believe you, I don't want to be here, you're wasting my time.
You're a burden.
And I'm a burden, correct. That's how I felt that night. And I felt totally pressured into just chalk it up as a bad mistake, a bad decision, whatever.
You're just making more work for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No rape kit was done. No full screen for date rape drugs. There's no recording or transcript of what Abby said that night. What does exist? These pages of scribbled notes and a 2-page memo.
There's some knowingly false information in this. Like, never articulated she was the victim of sex assault, nor did she allege Officer Armour sexually assaulted her.
Yeah.
And that's false.
Yeah.
It's a lie.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, you went to the hospital and
Correct.
said,
there's a dislodged tampon in me and I want a rape kit.
it's what you told them when you got there
It's
on your
on my
form.
paperwork. Mm-hmm.
I mean, so how much credibility should we even put into this?
It's garbage.
But it continues to have a profound impact. After we exposed the memo and reports about Armour last year, Phoenix emailed us to, quote, clarify it wasn't a sexual assault allegation, but rather inappropriate sexual interaction.
But it was a sexual assault. And for them to say an inappropriate sexual interaction is minimizing, it's an insult to my intelligence. It's an insult to all of the women who have ever been in this unfortunate situation.
Phoenix declined interview requests for this story.
You want a mic check real fast?
But we did speak to Chief Jerry Williams about Brady List officers, Armour, and his lawsuits last year. We got just 12 minutes for the interview, but made sure to ask about the phrase.
Do you agree with that phrasing, classifying it as that?
So I know for a fact that on the second page of that memo, it is indicated that that officer did not say that it was a sexual assault at the moment. We do understand victimology as it comes to sexual assaults, and that the fact that if she wants to reopen that, she can. But again, I'm not going to talk about that case because it's being litigated.
So now, your PIO's office, they respond, they say a woman who wakes up with a man having sex with her for being unconscious, that's inappropriate sexual interaction. You know, I've spoken to some of I interviewed on TV, I've spoken to others. Advocates really worry that that sends a really negative message to potential victims and survivors about trusting Phoenix police with their rape allegations or their sex assault allegations.
So is that a question?
It is. Do you think
because the way I look at it, Dave, we do treat sexual assault seriously. We have an entire family investigations bureau that we have. You're talking about a case that happened back in, you're saying 2015, back before Jerry Williams was a police chief. I would hope that in spite of this discussion that we're having right now, that people still know that we're still showing up to calls for service, that we're still taking sexual assault seriously. And when people bring behavior to my attention, I am absolutely going to address it.
A month after this interview, in October 2020, Abby went to the Maricopa County Attorney's Office to request a new criminal investigation because she didn't trust Phoenix. MCAO urged Phoenix to send it to another agency. Phoenix said no.
They said that they disagree wholeheartedly, that they believe they can dot the I's and cross the T's better than anyone. But if that was my wish, that I would need to go find another agency and let them know once I've, shopped around for another agency to take my case, that they would send over the material.
It's the victim's job to go pick an agency?
Allegedly, yeah.
Here's an email to prove it.
We decided that we were just gonna let Phoenix continue to take it because again, I felt like we were put in a position to have no other choice.
It's almost like they're making you look bad, like, oh, she went and shopped around.
Exactly.
Phoenix finished the new investigation last month. They did not submit charges. ABC 15 obtained a copy of the investigation and listened to a call when the sergeant and commander told Abby the reasons why. It was, quote, a matter of consent, a he said, she said case. They said no one else saw anything except one person who walked by the closed door and thought he heard consensual sex. Now, Abby voluntarily told officers after she pushed Armour away. At some point, she had another snapshot memory saying, quote, blank me after the sex assault had begun. She described it as an out-of-body experience.
There's a lot of misunderstanding still. in society about women who have been sexually assaulted.
Yes.
People are going to ask, why didn't you run out of there screaming? Why did you get in a car with him? Why did you go to his house? Why did you continue to see him for a couple hours after? How would you explain that? How can you explain that to someone?
I can't. I don't know why. And those are questions that I ask myself, and I don't have a reason for it. I don't know. It doesn't make sense, and I can't give reasons why. I wish I did. I wish I didn't go. I wish I wasn't even there that night. But I can't answer why.
Advocates and trauma experts say there is no typical way for survivors to respond in the moment or after. Victims rarely fight back, especially when they know their attacker. Some even go into, quote, autopilot survival mode. All normal reasoning can get lost, even more so if drunk or drugged, causing some to freeze, submit, even engage in sex acts once an assault has begun. Phoenix redacted key details in their investigation, like blacking out the word tampon throughout. And from the report, it's not clear if Armour was pressed about the dislodged tampon. It's not mentioned at all in the overall summary. And on the call, when police told Abby they were closing the case, they also didn't address the tampon. Abby, too upset to confront them about it.
I don't know. I guess I don't even know the right way to ask the question, but is there one thing?
Yeah, it's the betrayal. It's the fact that I was so proud of this job. I was so proud of what I did, something I'd wanted to do since I was little. And I still have friends and family that work for the department. And I feel betrayed. And it makes me sick thinking that if this is how I was treated, all of those other people out there are being treated worse.
Abby got married a year after it happened. She left Phoenix in 2015, leaving to take care of her firstborn son. See, Abby and her husband couldn't balance conflicting schedules. He's a Phoenix officer too, still with the department.
So people are going to ask, what's in it for you? Why are you
Right.
here? What's in it for you right now talking to me?
Nothing. Talking about my body in public, shame, my reputation, but I can't sit by and just allow this to go on and allow it to happen and not say something.
So if nothing, it's for people, that's to let people know.
Yes. Yeah. I get nothing from this. Just more heartache.
We sent 4 requests for comment to Anthony Armour's attorneys. They did not respond. Phoenix police also did not agree to an interview, and in a written statement, the department did not address several important questions raised by Abby Dennison and our reporting. But a spokesperson did write, any allegation of sexual assault is serious and represents a traumatic event that must be treated with compassion.
Now, our reporting here is far from over. In the coming days and weeks, we'll have a lot more on this case. You'll see what experts have to say, major holes in the new investigation, and new details about the ongoing lawsuits against Armour and the city. And finally tonight, if you or someone you know has been sexually assaulted, help is available. We have information for resources and support on our website. You can find that at abc15.com/consent.